Forget the old image of Mexico being full of poverty and crimes. Today, Mexico is making headlines for its remarkable economic progress. With a GDP of $2.729 trillion, Mexico ranks as the 12th largest economy in the world. Plus, it stands as the second largest in Latin America, making its name among the world's richest countries. Known for its biodiversity, rich culture, and vibrant traditions, Mexico also benefits from its close proximity to America. But how did this turnaround happen? How did a former colonial country transform into a powerhouse economy? In this video, we'll uncover these questions and more. But before we get into it, hit the bell icon and subscribe to our channel to watch interesting content on geopolitics and economics. Now, let's get back to the video. Who would have thought that a country that started as the main economic center of the colonial Americas would become the 12th largest economy in the world? The story began in 1821, when Mexico came on the map of the world. The country was deeply in debt and struggling with many challenges. Even after gaining independence from Spain, Mexico inherited a colonial system focused on extracting resources. All this results in fractured infrastructure and a weak internal market. It was really a tough time for Mexico to build an economy, with disrupted commerce, no agricultural productivity, and a weak banking system. During his 35 years of presidency, Porfirio Diaz worked hard to manage some economic stability. Finally, in the late 19th century, the president's efforts made Mexico industrialized and opened the gate to foreign investors. On top of that, Mexico marked another significant milestone by achieving its first balanced budget in the 1890s. But things were not in favor. Mexico's progress stalled when the revolution against Diaz severely affected economic growth. After World War II, high demand for agricultural products and raw materials made Mexico rich in natural resources, and it became a crucial supplier. With that said, the export revenue saw a boom while stimulating economic growth. This set the stage for what's called the Mexican Miracle. The 1940s to 1960 was the time of the Mexican Miracle. The exceptional economic growth turned Mexico into an industrial powerhouse, transforming it from an agrarian economy. The secret to this transformation was import substitution industrialization, or ISI. How did Mexico actually kickstart its industrial growth? Well, the focus was on promoting domestic manufacturing, imposing high tariffs on imports, and offering incentives to local industries. Yet the role of government was remarkable. The government upholds this economic growth by investing in electrical grids, building roads, and dams. Surprisingly, the average annual GDP was an impressive 6%. Cities like Monterrey and Guadalajara expanded rapidly, and urbanization helped people improve their living standards. Consequently, more and more people gained better access to education and healthcare. In 1942, the Bracero program enabled Mexican labor to work temporarily in the U.S. to fill the labor shortages due to the war. This labor migration continued post-war, aiding in economic relief. However, challenges were still there. People living in the rural areas were still deprived of economic advancements. Masses were facing income inequality. While import substitution industrialization boosted industrial growth, it also created inefficiencies and lack of global competition. By the late 60s, increased external debt and inflation hit Mexico hard, resulting in an unstable economy. So, the transformative era of the Mexican Miracle highlighted the significance of inclusive and sustainable economic policies. Then came the neoliberal era, exposing the myths of the Mexican Miracle as it drew to an end. During this period, the country's shift to market-oriented reforms left state-led development behind. In 1994, NAFTA, or the North American Free Trade Agreement, was introduced to enhance trade in North America. The goal was to integrate Mexico into the global economy. Some significant policy measures were taken to liberalize the economy. The government started privatizing some government-owned enterprises to enhance the efficiency of these sectors. Further, to stabilize the economy, several changes were made in tax reforms along with a reduction in regulations. The neoliberal reforms brought direct foreign investment. Amazingly, a massive upsurge in exports was witnessed mainly in the automotive and electronics industries, leading to reduced inflation and a stable economy. Despite all this economic growth, Mexico failed to overcome the income inequality issue in public, but efforts to improve the economy continued. The country's faced its share of challenges and is all set to turn the tide. What's driving Mexico's transformation? The answer is based on various aspects, including energy reforms, trade integration, tech innovation, industrial growth, and revised economic policies. A leading factor in Mexico's economic growth is its strategic location. Being situated in North America, Mexico holds a significant geopolitical position. The country's a bridge between North and Latin America. Since it shares a coastline with the Gulf of Mexico and the Pacific Ocean, it's a substantial facilitator for naval operations and international trade. However, the transformation is not overnight. Mexico's economy's gone through many ups and downs. Let's spill some beans on the story of the Mexican economy. Today, Mexicans are the leaders of renewable energy resources in Latin America. It all started on August 11, 2014, when President Enrique Peña Nieto signed a package of laws that marked a positive turn in the energy sector. But what actually was the goal of these energy reforms? Simply put, the purpose was to drastically improve the fortunes of Pemex. These reforms ended Pemex's monopoly over the gas and oil industry. The favorable conditions made Mexico one of the largest producers of oil. Further, the oil and gas industry became open for foreign investments. Admittedly, these investors came with foreign capital and advanced technology. The notable collaborations in deep water drilling include Chevron and Japan's Inpex Corp. Besides oil production, these reforms paved the path to invest in renewable energy. Now, Mexico is a key player in the energy sector. Moving on, Mexico's industrial growth is really inspiring right now. The electrical and automotive sectors of Mexico are booming, making Mexico a powerhouse manufacturer. It's no wonder Mexico's ranked as the 7th largest vehicle producer with a production of a whopping 4,002,047 units in 2023. Back in 2020, a nearshoring trend started. Mexico quickly benefited from this trend as more companies, such as real estate investors, shifted their operations to this country. It's amazing to see how nearshoring has become one of the main drivers of the Mexican economy since it contributed to growth rates of 4% and beyond. There's no denying that various companies, including General Motors and Volkswagen, have also taken advantage of Mexico's strategic location and have set up their units here. The favorable trade agreements and skilled labor force have attracted foreign investors. Meanwhile, the aerospace sector has also made record-breaking progress. Today, Mexican economic development is attributed to aerospace too. Mexico now stands as the 7th largest supplier to the US market in aerospace. Let's not forget the agreements like USMCA and NAFTA that have integrated Mexico into the global supply chain. Plus, major infrastructure investments like an interoceanic corridor of the Isthmus of Tehuantepec are also improving its economic growth. The project's goal is to link the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans to boost connectivity and economic development in the region. It's expected that this project will position Mexico as a logistics zone of global importance. It seems that the think tank of Mexico has firmly decided to change the fate of Mexicans by leaving no stone unturned. Next comes the significant measures taken to enhance productivity and innovation. Software development and fintech have raised the innovation bar. The National Digital Strategy kickstarted a tech revolution in Mexico. It laid the foundation for improved infrastructure, leading to attracting investors and talent. With more than 500 fintech startups, the country's become a regional leader. Over the past 4 years, Mexico has been one of the top 5 countries with the biggest e-commerce growth in the world. Public and private sectors together have invested in projects like research centers, technology parks, and innovation hubs. Guadalajara, profoundly known as the Silicon Valley of Mexico, hosts university and tech startups and companies to drive a skilled workforce. Various incubators are actively investing in startups, making the nation's capital a variant tech hub. Moving forward, Mexico has a rich heritage and a vibrant culture. Mexicans are the best hosts, and the stunning landscapes are the cherry on the top, attracting millions of tourists. Investment in transportation has led to better tourism in the region. Besides enhancing the economy, the boom in the industry has created more jobs. It's employed over 4 million people. The pandemic's affected tourism like any other industry, but now the number of tourists per year is back to reaching the pre-pandemic levels. Tourism's played a great part in stabilizing Mexico's economy by generating revenue of $32 billion in 2023. Today, tourism contributes about 8.7% of Mexico's total GDP. Another important factor that led to Mexico's prosperity was the advancement in infrastructure and urbanization. Airports, highways, and railways are built to enhance connectivity. This not only boosted the economy, but also improved the lives of Mexicans. Urban areas are focusing more on implementing smart technology, but issues like shortage of houses and traffic congestion remain the same. The country has to take sustainable measures to control pollution and manage traffic congestion issues. Improved living standards can further aid in shifting the population to areas they avoid due to lack of facilities. With all these reforms, certain challenges remain. The Mexican economy still faces several economic challenges that obstruct its progress in becoming wealthy. Let's begin with the discrepant income distribution, one of the major issues. This inequality in the financial distribution resulted in a massive gap between the rich and the poor. The limited access to basic commodities of life has affected the entire economic stability. On top of this stands corruption. The essential funds are drawn away from the infrastructure projects and other public services, worsening the situation. Another challenge is the informal economy. Many workers don't get access to labor rights, social security, and health services. How can workers thrive to stabilize the economy without getting basic protection? Mexico is a hub of drug trafficking, which fuels other high-level crimes and violence. The situation results in a strained economy, deters foreign investment, and harms tourism. The economy of Mexico is highly dependent on the US because of the USMCA agreement, or United States-Mexico-Canada agreement. Along with the benefits, it also aids in economic fluctuation in Mexico due to policy changes in the US. Another important factor hindering the Mexican economy is less expenditure on research and development. The lack of innovation and inefficient business practices have slowed down Mexican progress. Other than these, long-term economic risks including water scarcity, pollution, and deforestation are causing harm. The general public's facing health issues like diabetes and obesity affecting the workforce. Further, economic planning has deteriorated because of political instability. All the issues can be addressed by making effective policies such as investing in education, R&D, and overall infrastructure. The government and the private sector have to join hands to reduce inequality. With all these challenges and the reforms already taken, Mexico is a rich country and has a substantial future. The country's already rising, and the world is taking notice. The transformation in infrastructure development, transportation, and renewable energy reforms will aid in connecting cities. This will lead to less traffic congestion and solve the problems like shortage of houses. Efficient urban planning can uplift the living standard of people, making them more productive and connected. All in all, Mexico's set to become a global power. Do you think Mexico's economic growth affects its influence on the global level? Will Mexico continue booming its economic growth? Share your thoughts below. Catch you next time.